What's up? After the fake notification season is over for this page too, we are back. What's good? What's good in the hood? Wall Street keeps getting a pass. And people, they blame immigrants, poor people, and now teachers. We in the economic Royal Rumble. That's what we're dealing with right now. See, the government is on the verge of another shutdown because they never really fixed the situation in the first place. They just knew that the state and the whole the world would feel like if the government had another shutdown, if they didn't fix it or resolve it, well, the world would be in panic. How would we live without the government being able to control things? There would be anarchy because they never fixed the real problem. Nobody in the head honchos went to jail. Nobody paid fines. Only one person went to jail, and he had nothing to do with the economic collapse that Wall Street created. So all the banks in America, their system goes down, and they're responsible for most of the richest things in this country, supposedly. And in the end result, The Wolf of Wall Street is a great movie. I worked in a firm just like that, so it was good to see some of the same things that was going on in Wolf of Wall Street went on at our firm. And we see the evil head of business. I've seen it all. So everything in the Wolf of Wall Street is real. And then some. I've seen that. The owner of our company was just like him. We're on YouTube. The company I work for is on YouTube. They changed the name because the company had such a bad reputation. We're on YouTube for the biggest sexual harassment lawsuit in history. We was on MSNBC. Just look up, if you ever get a chance, look up sexual harassment at IPA, International Profit Associates. Look that up, and that'll tell you what you need to know. It's on YouTube. You'll see the video of her on MSNBC. $200 million business came overnight. It was like they went from a company that made $60,000 a year to like $200,000 a year to $200 million. In like 3-4 years, and the owner was just nuts, and he was spending money like crazy, and we were just taking trips. He rented out the hotel for us. If you was making money, you was one of his guys, and that was it. Now Wall Street runs on the same playing field. Everybody's doing coke or some type of drug to keep them moving, keep them doing numbers. That's it. Numbers, numbers, numbers. They live and eat numbers. They don't care about the actual people that have to live. They don't care about people losing their homes. They don't care what people can afford and what they can't. All of these things that you saw on television and ignored became reality. See, what you ignored in life, it all became reality. And right before your eyes, and you couldn't do anything about it, and you didn't do anything about it. And that's henceforth was the main problem. People slept. You will see it on your television. 200 people lose their jobs. Oh, power plant shut down, 20,000 jobs was lost. Oh, this company went belly up. The Pontiac Corporation, they closed. Chrysler closed. Took their business to Mexico. Pontiac went overseas. Chrysler went overseas. I mean, out of the country, the United States. And people would sleep on the signs. They didn't understand it because people always assume, well, things will work out. If 20,000 people lose their jobs, that's massive. That's 20,000 people that need work. 30,000 people losing jobs. And you're like, wow, 30,000 people out of work. What's going on around here? You ignored the signs. You had to see the economic destruction that was happening within this company. I mean, this country, actually. We sold ourselves. And once you sell yourself and start importing cheap because it's less costly and selling it for the markup price here in the States because it's less costly for you, you wasn't thinking America. If America was thinking made in the USA, it's important. Like they had those commercials, made in the USA, it's important. Yeah, those commercials were about 10, 15 years too late. You start seeing all the machine shop jobs go overseas. Cars are made more cheaply. Fiber mechanics, plastic now instead of steel. Cars get hit one time, they're totaled. Cars are breaking down easier. Cheap parts. I say we, meaning country. So when I say we, I mean country, not a people. Because see, this is a global effect. Wall Street is not reserved to just the United States. All of these jobs were lost, so were people. The people were lost. The people had no idea as to how to respond. The people had no idea how to even communicate with each other. The people had no idea of what was going on because it didn't affect them. If you didn't see any change in your walk of life, you didn't care. But you didn't know that all of these things were going to be a trickle-down effect that was going to collapse you, put you out of your house and everybody else's house. And once that happened, it was all over. It was all over. Listen, Wall Street is ran by a bunch of people who are not from the United States of America. Look, let's just understand, it's the trading in goods and services of basically properties and things that don't even exist, really. Bonds, back and forth, taking money from banks, loans from banks, going through people's pensions, 401ks. They used it all, and they wiped people out. Now they can reimburse each other and make more money and take loans from other countries to try to fix deficits, but they could not replenish your pensions, your retirement, your 401k funds that you were saving and putting money into for when you retire. Now, after all those years of work, you retire, you have nothing. A lot of people committed suicide after the fact. I couldn't go live on this page until today. They have blocked me from going live on this page until today. This is the news channel, by the way, in case people didn't know where they were at. Nah. The internet did you in. They started this back in 2005, 2004. They started, a bill was passed where they would allow mainstream companies, big corporations like Sam's Club, Walmart's, and Target's to be built in inner cities, low-income areas. Before, there was a law saying that they couldn't do that. A lot of you didn't know that. They could not put a big global chain such as a Walmart or a Target in a low-income market, because it would kill the local businesses and moms and pops. So people fought against it because they knew they could not compete with the prices of the competitors, because they'll just keep lowering their prices. And then you'll be at the mercy of it because you can't keep up with it. And that law was passed, and they came in, they built their Targets, they built their Walmarts right in the hood. And what had happens? It bankrupt malls, it bankrupt all the mom and pop stores around you, and you guys never even noticed it. You just thought they closed up shop. And then those blacks who own that little store or they own that property for years, those mom and pop stores, they closed up. And the city came and took that land, bought that property. Now they own it. Bought it for pennies on the dollar. They fix it up to a little strip mall, little strip stores. They put a Sharks there. They put another little food spot. And now what used to be some black folks that own it, hair and nail shop, you got Habib. He owns this shop. He owns all three. How did he get that in the ghetto? And this is the kicker, because I love it how, you know, people that live in the hood, and because you don't live in the hood no more, they love to talk down on you because you ain't over there no more. So now they want to talk down on you. Yeah, man, you need to get that money to the hood. The money you giving the money to, the guy you giving the money to, he ain't from the hood. Habib don't live over there. Habib live out here by me. You putting Habibi kids through college. He not putting that money back in the neighborhood. Habibi putting that money back overseas into his family's education. So Habibi lives out here by me, but owns 3 stores in the ghetto. That Chinese shop that's in the ghetto, that Korean shop that's in the ghetto, all them, you think they live in the ghetto? You think they live in your hood? You ever seen them Korean people that live in your hood? No, but they own all your stores in your neighborhood. And none of the money goes back to your hood at all. It comes all the way out here. So when you're talking about giving back to the hood and doing this for the hood, what you doing for the hood? Nothing. You're supporting the people out here. Of course it's gentrification. That's what they did it for. They bought it for the lands and they approved it. And they tried to get the people to fight against it, to wake up, but they could not resist buying things for cheap. So now the whole pendulum switched. And instead of the top businesses in the world, which was US Steel, General Motors, where they actually manufactured. The United States was one of the biggest manufacturing countries in the world. Steel, that was our main gift. We have very good steel here. Strong, sturdy steel. Now, it's not a top commodity no more. They closed down the steel mills. Closed them all down. All the CNC manufacturing shops, they all overseas now. Now they go to India. Now they in China. Now they all outsourced. No more manufacturing, hardly ever gone. 30,000 people laid off. 24,000 laid off. 17 more laid off. 1,000 here and there. So all these people out of work. They barely got any jobs for you to do. So what? Why? Look at the #1 company now in the United States of America. It's Walmart. They don't make anything. They distribute. We have now become a distribution country. We don't manufacture anything anymore. Then you look at the bigger picture. Silicon Valley is next. This is how Silicon Valley was created. The tech companies, once they realized purchases can be made online in 2005, in 1995 actually, when the internet was first being thought of, nobody could really buy anything with a credit card. It wasn't until like many years down the road, I showed you the movie Middlemen, where 2 idiots figured out the system of actually putting a code in where you could use a credit card to purchase things online. And they thought about porn. They were trying to order porn online and end up stumbling into something that cost $1 trillion. Now everybody uses that system. When they buy something online with a credit card, that's the system you use. That's how PayPal got into existence. They were the ones that invented PayPal, Pay.com. All of these things came from them. And then the government seized it and took over it. They had a monopoly on it. That technology was theirs. They made so many millions of dollars, it was unreal. So the things started to shift. Yahoo was the first company to really take the internet search engine business by storm. They made so many millions of dollars just for being a search engine. And no one was there to rival them. This little company called Google saw how arrogant Yahoo became. And Yahoo started to not pay the guys that started the business. They let some of those guys go. They didn't deem them as important anymore. The company was growing and they was going to start to put out their own movies, television shows. Yahoo was starting to look way beyond search engines. And all of these ideas was bounced around in the Yahoo office. And they were like, we're going to produce movies, we're going to produce television shows, we're trying to do this. So they start spending all their money and budget advertising on television about going online. So they spent millions of dollars. They promoted during the Super Bowl, the NBA. You start seeing Yahoo commercials everywhere. So when you start seeing all these things, Google said, well, while they're focused on that, let's try to improve the search engines, and do some things Yahoo is not doing. So when Yahoo had a couple of tech guys that weren't there anymore and got let go, they went to go work for Google. So when they came to Google, those guys were very disgruntled at what had happened at Yahoo. So when they went working for Google, they had all these ideas that was bounced around at Yahoo that Yahoo ignored. They used at Google. And they had to wait a certain period before they could legally be hired on. Those guys who came and worked with Google, they ended up making Google a better search engine. So while Yahoo was trying to make Yahoo the biggest name and the biggest company, Google focused on being the best search engine. What Yahoo was supposed to be about. So eventually, people start going to Google. And people who were on Yahoo, who had that as their default, they had an option to go to this thing called Google. And Google was so much better. Boom, you got a picture photo. It would pull up things that was right by you. Yahoo wasn't doing that yet. Yahoo would just give you a bunch of titles, but it wouldn't bring anything up based on your locations. That didn't really go right along with them. You had photos and you could click on it. It gave you a bunch of other options. Google was taking over the search engine. So apparently Google took over them and kept moving. Everybody started to leave Yahoo. Yahoo was losing millions, a lot of millions of dollars, because that was wasted advertising. Why are you going on the internet, spending millions of dollars, going on television, putting all this $1 million into marketing for television? It's dumb. So Yahoo came out with this little Yahoo movie thing, video, where they had their own little web series they were doing on the internet, like Yahoo TV or whatever they were trying out. So once that collapsed, it almost bankrupted Yahoo. So Yahoo keeps trying to come up with ways to stay relevant. Right now, Yahoo is still not what it used to be. It's signed on in a partnership. Somebody bought parts of Yahoo and still sticking around. Google overtook everything from them. Bing came out and actually became a better search engine than Google. If anybody got Bing, they can tell that Bing is the better search engine. But Google came out and kept evolving. They came out with Google. Google Drive didn't really do too well, but it's a lot better than Dropbox that came out. Google would buy your technology. Anybody, they stopped trying to make new stuff and said, okay, anything comes around, we're gonna buy it. Now you got Google Maps. It used to be MapQuest, now you got Google Maps. Google buys you out. You got tech, we like it, we buy it. That's it. And now it's a part of Google. And that is their system. Instead of coming up with new ideas, forget that. Because all Google ideas they came out with was just going right to the toilet. Now, what does this have to do with Wall Street? These are baby boom companies that come out of nowhere. This is all internet. These are not physical things that you can make. You can't make these things and hold them, basically. You're on the internet, so you have a job at IT tech. All of these answering the phones. A lot of people didn't even have physical addresses. When they were working at one of those houses in Silicon Valley, what they call pods, pod houses. So this has affected Wall Street because all the money is being made by these tech companies. And it was the big tech boom out of nowhere. All these tech companies are where the jobs are. So physically, they don't need you. So this is going to affect Wall Street. People who have stocks invested in these businesses and companies, they don't need it no more because people can buy online. Electronical stores were like, why am I doing a physical address? I could just go online. And people who were holding on to the dream too long, like, I like my store, I'm not letting it go. Netflix was killing everybody, and it killed Blockbuster Video because Blockbuster was too blind to see it. They were trying to hold on to their physical address and say, no, I'm holding on to my stores. We're not going online. Netflix said, cool, we'll mail you the movies. People were sitting back, don't have to do anything, and the movies are coming in the mail. Now you stream it on your television. So you don't even have to leave your home to have this done. So you know what that does to physical jobs? All these people who actually worked at these stores, who actually handled the products, everything, now it's buy it online. You had less physical stores to go to. Now you got to get everything from a Walmart or all these outlet stores. And they're very few and in between. Because people are just ordering online now. So with the tech world going up, all of these physical locations are closing. What is that going to do to Wall Street? Wall Street is made and based off other people's money. Mutual funds. Your 401k is a mutual fund, which means mutual means more than one person. All you guys put together in one big ball, all of your money. All of your money is pooled together into one. And because of that, because of that fact, all of your money is pooled together in one big pool. You guys collectively can get more. But see, what the bank does is they get a percentage. That's why they love mutual funds. Banks love that. They love 401k because they get a percentage of your money. All your money, they get a percentage of. So each month, all your money, no matter how much money you make or lose, the bank don't care. They get a percentage of all the money that's put together in that fund. Now, if you're not working, you can no longer put money in that fund. So your job is gone because your job is basically online, so they don't need you to be in the store anymore. There goes your job. So how much money can you put in the fund? Zero. So you're out of a job, another person's out of a job, that person's out of a job. So when those 20,000 people losing jobs, people lose jobs, people lose homes. They don't have the money to pay for the homes. So they got to foreclose. So that brings an end to the housing market. That brings an end to Wall Street. That brings an end to all of it. So when we talk about the tech world having a tech boom, this is what happened. And if the banks weren't so greedy, their greed of trying to give you more and just keep money coming in their pockets, well, we wouldn't be in this situation. And it's only going to get worse. It's going to continuously go this way for a very long time because there's almost no way out of this. The only way to have a decent job now is to create it, because jobs are very few and far and in between. They have college loans you can't get out of from under. People think college is the answer. College is the answer if you got the funds. You get a loan to go to college, guess what? A loan is like an auto loan. You have interest. And on that interest, oh buddy, you're gonna get slammed. They're gonna slam you on the interest. It's just like a car loan. So all those little minimal payments you're making, you're not gonna be putting any towards the actual, to the actual loan. All your money is going directly to the interest. That's all you're paying when you pay that minimum. So when about 6, 7, 8, 9 years down the road, you still gonna be owing them money for school, because all you was affording to pay was the interest. Then you can't pay. Guess what happens when you don't pay? You mess up your credit, because you're late in the payment. You're default. You're delinquent. So now you can't make your payments. You're known as the person who cannot make their payments. So now that you can't make your payments, what you think is going to happen? Oh, can't make your payments? Sorry to hear about that. Mark. Bad credit. Now you delinquent. Sorry about that. They put you in debts that you can't get out of. So they're making you see, break the bank. It's like playing roulette. You'll have a day or a certain time where you win, and then there's other times you're gonna lose, or you're gonna break even, or you're not gonna really make anything at all. You know what the market is? The market is gambling. That's all it is. It's another form of gambling. One day you make a good day. Hey, I made one, I'm up. Next day, you in the red. One day you might be in the black for a whole 2 weeks and you think you made some money. Then you're going to be in the red one day and probably lose all of it back. It's another form of gambling. What is Bitcoin? Imaginary currency. Imaginary currency a way that they can have people launder money to each other before they come and shut it all down with this cryptocurrency. Exactly. Government shutdown. And we knew it when the first time because they never fixed the problem. You cannot fix this problem. The government cannot dig themselves out of this grave. They can borrow $2.3 billion from China. It might be trillion, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But $2.3 billion from China borrowed to the United States. And all of that money will go to creating some minimal jobs so they can put in the newspaper and think it's going to help, but it's only going to help the upper to mid-class people. While the poor people still got to... Buddy, the government can manipulate all forms of currency. Any of these things and rob the bank. Do you know what he did? And how he let the bank rob themselves? Because money, all he had to do was hack the computer. That's it. If your bank account is $3,000 in there, all it is an electronic number. If you can go into the bank and make that 3,000, 300,000, guess what? You got $300,000. But his problem, like many other people, greed. After robbing the bank and getting away with $300,000 in his account, the bank was like, oh man, we made a mistake. There's only $3,000 in this account, and this guy's account is supposed to be for $300,000. And the way he hacked it, it made sense. The feds didn't know how he did it. No. You can withdraw more than $2,000 at a time. It just has to be done differently. But I ain't saying he tried to withdraw $300,000. When the bank saw that they only had $3,000 in the account and the number had $300,000 supposed to be in the account, they fixed the correction by putting the money there. They blamed themselves for the error, fixed it on their end to make sure he had his $300,000 in the bank. How he was able to hack into the system, I don't know. But he didn't stop there. Once he had this code, or whatever he was doing to falsify these numbers to make it look like a transaction was coming in for these large amounts, from this company, they were approving it. When you can falsify the numbers, that's all you need to do. The bank was covering it because in the bank system, it was saying this was what's supposed to be in there. So if it's saying that's what's supposed to be in the bank has got to make sure that's there. Now, if they don't have this money at the bank or something else, they got to call so the money could be shipped to the bank if it's a large amount. That guy had over what? When he was, about time he was done, he got hit, he had what, 300,000 a month coming in. So you do the numbers. He did this for like about a year before they start to figure out something was wrong. The government shut him down. I wouldn't call it game. I wouldn't call it game at all, brother. This is to deter, this is to make sure you don't do this. I'm using it for an example. Don't do it. Oh, he's got federal time. But most and foremost, they wanted to know how he did it. I couldn't tell you how he did it. I don't know. But I'm using it to prove a point. That once you put your money in the bank and they give you an electronic number for your money, that's it. Money is nothing but numbers. It's currency. It doesn't exist. All of it could be whatever the piece of paper say it is. That's how much money is in there. Does not have to be physical. And you don't control it. Once your money's in the bank, you don't control that money. They tell you how much money you can get out of it. They put you on a cap. They'll tell you this is how much money we are going to allow you to take out at one night. You're going to be like, hey, man, you can't tell me how much cash I can take out. They'd be, yes, we can. By law, they can tell you that. Man, you got to stop with all that government. That stuff don't matter no more. You could have your money in a Swiss bank account. They will come get it. There's nowhere now in the face of this earth in the United States of America you can hide your money in a bank and it be safe by their laws. They've proven this how many times? How many times have they proven this? It's been done. There's no way you can hide, brother. They will come get the money. How many people that had 200, 300 mil? The feds then came and seized all overseas assets, everything. You cannot hide your money. Jordan Belfort would tell you that. You can't hide your money nowhere no more. Those days are over. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Rick?
We just used it.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.